January 3rd, the very important day when it comes to a $1,400 fourth stimulus check. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, January 3rd is rapidly approaching, and this is going to be a very important day when it comes to a fourth stimulus check and exactly what I want to describe for you right here in the video, so let's get into it and discuss all the details. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so, and because I am your one and only daily advocate, I'm here for you right by your side every single day, watching all this new information, hitting the wire, breaking it all down into these short videos so you can stay updated with what's actually going on, and most importantly, how it's going to impact you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account, and of course anything else popping up right now you can possibly grab and or take advantage of. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and always remember, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. That's my dedication, that's my commitment, and as always, that's my promise to you and everybody right here in the community. All right, thanks again. Let's jump into it and talk about January 3rd, why this is so incredibly important, especially when it comes to a fourth stimulus check for anybody out there right now who needs extra money. As we all know, the vast majority of the population needs another check right now, just like we've been talking about with all these reports here over the last several months. Virtually nobody has money right now. In fact, we've been talking about this for a very long time. However, let's get into it and talk about that. But Happy New Year. I mean, seriously, can you believe that we're here already? What happened to 2022, right? It just zipped right on by, and here we are. But anyway, Happy New Year. Hope you're doing well so far, right? All right, so let's talk about January 3rd here and what's going on. January 3rd is a very important day because this is the day the new lawmakers that were elected as a result of the midterm election just a couple months ago will be sworn in. So this is the day that the new Congress will be brought in, right? So this new Congress will be in place for the next couple years. And when it all comes down to it, these few hundred people in Congress, between the House of Representatives and the Senate, as well as also the president, obviously, but he's not new. He's been there for a couple years already, but it's the new lawmakers and all of these hundreds of people. It's not even 1,000 people across Congress, right? A few hundred people are the ones who get to make the calls for all of us for the next couple years. Who's excited? I mean, seriously, right? Can you believe it? A few hundred people get to make all the calls for us. The 333 million people in the United States all count on these few hundred people to make all the decisions for us. I don't know. Seems kind of crazy, right? But that is what's going on, and that is how the system is set up. So that's what we get to deal with. So as a result of that, the new Congress will be brought in as a result of January 3rd. They'll all be sworn in on this day, okay? So here's what we've got to do. We got to continue watching Congress very closely, because if you want another check, where do you need to turn to? Well, you got to turn to Congress, because that is who appropriates and approves these packages, the bills, the pieces of legislation that actually have these checks contained within them. They're the ones who have the final say. Well, let me take that back. I guess they don't have the final say. The president has the final say, but I can tell you this much. If a package makes it to the president's desk with a check in it, I can tell you this much. He's going to sign it, okay? He will for sure sign that thing. But again, it all comes down to the few hundred people within Congress to get that legislation done, to actually vote on it within the chambers, and then ultimately send it to the president's desk for him to sign it, and then ultimately get something like that for us. So when it comes down to it, here's what we really need to watch going forward in 2023. Now, again, I've been talking about this for a very long time now, and there's always two sides to the coin, right? In other words, there's always two different opinions. I've been seeing a lot of different things out there for the last several months now, where a lot of big, highly recognized people out there are coming out saying 2023 might possibly be the year of reckoning, like what we saw in 2008 and early 2009 with the great financial crisis, where we saw the housing market falling off a cliff, we saw the stock market plunging, we saw the unemployment rate going very high, we were falling into a very deep, dark recession at the time. There's a lot of things that were happening. Do you remember that? Basically all of 2008 and early 2009 until we bottomed out. But again, some people out there right now are saying 2023 might be another 2008, 2009 type of situation coming in. Now again, that's one side of the coin, right? On the other side, we also have other people saying, oh no, 2023 is going to be a great year. There's going to be a lot of expansion, a lot of growth and things like that. However, let me point this out for you. If you are in the position that you want another stimulus check, I'm just going to throw this out there. And again, I am not saying that I want this to happen necessarily. I'm just simply saying this is what it has to come down to. If you want another check, you probably want to be rooting for the recession, because that's what it's going to come down to, okay? If we have a big, expansive, and growth year where the economy's doing well and everything's going great, the unemployment rate is low, people are working, a lot of jobs and stuff like that, there's not going to be another check if that's the case, okay? If the economy is very strong, there will be no need for another check in the eyes of Congress. Remember, I'm not saying that there's not a need for a check. In fact, I've been here pounding the table for years saying the low income and the fixed income need another check. I don't care who you ask right now, the fixed income and the low income individuals out there need additional money. In fact, we've been talking about this for a very long time. We've been talking about all the different studies, all the reports, and everything else coming out here over the last couple of years that have all proven stimulus checks were like a miracle when it came down to the low income and fixed income, right? It didn't solve all the problems, but at the end of the day, the low income and fixed income really, really, really need these payments, and they've also helped a lot of people in a huge, huge way, right? We've talked about this a lot with all the different reports and everything we've seen over the last couple of years here. It's been very important, right? And again, I don't need to tell you that, because the vast majority of you here in this community and that watch these videos, again, you know, because you're in the categories of low income and fixed income, and you can tell me, right? I don't need to tell you. I see it down below in the comment section literally every single day, hundreds of times every single day. Those of you sharing your stories saying, I just need another payment right now. I just need an ongoing check. I just need a little bit of relief right now. I'm so far behind on my bills. I can't even turn the heat up in my house right now. I don't have any food on the table. I mean, seriously, the stories go on, and I see them every single day. But when it all comes down to it, that's kind of what we need to watch right now. Is we need to watch the new Congress, but ultimately we need to watch the economy. That's really what it comes down to. And again, I don't want to turn this into a big economic lesson and going into all the stuff about inflation and interest rates and the Federal Reserve and the job market and the unemployment rate and all these things like this that I've talked about in previous videos. I don't want to go down that road again here in this video, but I'm simply telling you, that's what we've got to watch. If we do want another check, that's really what it all comes down to, is what's going on with the economy. Because as we continue to see the economy contract, which we already are seeing this, in fact, we've been seeing it for a few months now, we are seeing the economy contract, and we're seeing a lot of jobs being lost right now, right? We've been seeing this here for the last few months. Is the unemployment rate is actually moving higher. It's still very low, it's still historically very low, but it is also moving a little bit higher when it comes down to the economy and the likelihood of another check. Again, the higher that unemployment rate goes, the higher the likelihood comes in that another check would be distributed. It basically comes down to this. We can write all the letters that we want to Congress. We can call out to Congress all we want. We can make all the videos in the world that we want. We can call them on the phone, and we can leave all the voice messages that we want. Doesn't really matter. When it comes down to it, they're going to look at the economy. If we call them and write them letters and do all this stuff, they're going to say, thank you. Thanks for calling. We appreciate it. But until they see evidence within the economy, they're unfortunately not really going to care what we say. I'm just being real with you right now. That is really what it comes down to. They look at the economy because that is kind of the key factor, and that is the indicator that determines, okay, does this economy need stimulus? That's what it really comes down to. Is they don't look at it saying, oh, do the American people need stimulus right now? No, they look at it and say, does this economy need stimulus right now, right? So that's what it comes down to. Is they look at the economy and say, okay, this economy, yep, it needs a little bit of stimulus. It needs a little injection of money. Therefore, let's print up some stimulus checks and send them on out to the people. That's what it comes down to. So anyway, January 3rd, a big old day. And again, let's not write this Congress off yet, okay? We have no idea what they're going to do here. And again, let's give them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. Although I'm like the last person to say that most of the time, right? Usually, we don't like to give Congress that much of the benefit of the doubt because they continue to show us that they don't really do much for the people, right? They continue to show us that. However, this time with some new members of Congress coming in, you never know. Like I've been saying for a while now, as a result of this new Congress coming in, there's going to be a lot of new people, some new ideas, some new beliefs, some new agenda, some new, whatever, itinerary, whatever they want to do. There's going to be a lot of new ideas and plans and all kinds of things coming in. As a result of that, we got to see, what do they have up their sleeve? You never know. It could be a whole lot of nothing, right? It could be a whole lot of hot air up their sleeve. You know what I mean? Probably hot air in some other places too, even though their sleeve might have some as well, right? But again, that's what it comes down to with this Congress. But again, we got to watch and see what they're doing here because it's all up to them. But at the same time, that makes me wonder, is it maybe time to write another letter to Congress and, start establishing that little bit of a relationship right with them right now and saying, hey, Congress, we're watching you and we know what you're doing or we know what you're not doing, right? So anyway, I just want to point that out for you, let you know January 3rd is the big day. The new lawmakers will be brought in. And again, another key date we got to put on our calendar here to continue watching because this next, few months here are going to be very interesting. So, when the president gets inaugurated, right? So the president is sworn in and the president comes into office. It's always the same thing every time. The president has this 100-day agenda, right? I'm going to get all this stuff done in my first 100 days. And they go at it and the first 100 days are generally kind of productive. And then after that, it's like, whatever. My 100 days are up, so I guess I'll just ride out the next 3 years and like 6 months or 7 months or whatever it happens to be, right? So anyway, kind of comes down to the same thing with Congress as well, right? They want to hammer out as much as they can within the first few months of their term, and then after that it's just kind of like let's just sit back on easy street now, right? So it'll be interesting here to see what happens over the next few months. There's gonna be a lot of different bills and packages that come out. There's gonna be a lot of different talk that comes out as well. But again, like I've always said, I'm gonna continue watching it closely. As I do get those details, of course, I'll bring it to you right away in these videos. So again, please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands and thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day, have a good one, and I'll catch you again later in the next video. And of course, I'll keep you posted as I do get more details. So, Happy New Year, stay warm out there. I know it's tough not being able to turn the heat up all the way. I totally get it. So, do your best. I'm here for you in any way that I can be. Enjoy, and I'll catch you